What if I told you that to achieve that profound transformation you've been yearning for, that true quantum leap in your life, you don't need to do more, but rather you need to stop doing something that keeps you anchored to your past? I know how you feel. I know you've tried everything. You've read books, meditated, affirmed with all your strength that you deserve a different reality, but you keep hitting an invisible wall. It's as if you're shouting your dreams to a universe that seems deaf. You carry that silent existential void, that nostalgia of the soul, that deep certainty that something greater is waiting for you. Yet somehow it keeps slipping through your fingers. The invisible thief. The mistake, that invisible thief of possible futures, isn't in what you do, but in the frequency you continue emitting without realizing it. You want to manifest new abundance, new love, new peace, but you're trying from the energy of your past. It's like wanting to paint a luminous, vibrant canvas using the same dirty brush from old paint. Inevitably, the colors will mix, and the result will be, at best, a barely different version of the same old thing. Imagine for a moment that your life is a mirror, a quantum mirror that doesn't reflect what you think, not even what you say, but only what you vibrate in the deepest part of your being. If that mirror showed you your energetic reflection right now, what would keep appearing? Confidence or the wound of doubt? Fullness or the echo of lack? Here's the secret very few understand. There's an exact moment, a breaking point where your energetic field finally shifts. But most people sabotage it at that precise instant without even knowing it. The body remembers what the mind forgets. That mirror doesn't lie. The reason it sometimes returns an image that hurts us is not because your reality is stuck. It's because your vibrational identity hasn't yet received the command to change. We've been educated to believe that change is a mental act, an exercise of willpower, a conscious decision we make from logic. But here's the key that transforms everything. Your mind can desire the future with all its strength, but it's your body that continues, through loyalty and habit, living in the past. Your body, much more than your conscious mind, is the silent guardian of your energetic signature. It's the living library of every unprocessed fear, every wound of abandonment, every belief of not being enough that you've accumulated throughout your life. It operates on autopilot, repeating the same chemical reactions, the same postures, the same muscular tensions that defined your old self. That's why manifestation isn't really about creating something external that doesn't exist. It's an act of revelation, tuning in and beginning to embody the frequency of a reality that already exists as a tangible possibility in the quantum field. A reality you simply hadn't been able to perceive because you weren't inhabiting it from within. The sacred surrender. This brings us to the heart of our meeting today. Your quantum leap doesn't begin when you fight harder to change, but when you surrender and start with serene but firm intention to stop being who you no longer are. Remember that question we left hanging, that crucial moment so often sabotaged. Here's a hint. It's that instant when everything feels deeply uncomfortable, when doubt screams in your ear and your first impulse is to return to the familiar. It's right there at that threshold of uncertainty where your old self begins to die to make way for the new. Understanding your vibrational software. To understand this at a deeper level, I want you to visualize your body not as a simple biological structure, but as sophisticated vibrational software. Every significant experience you've lived, especially those with strong emotional charge, has installed a program in you. A friend's betrayal installed the distrust program. The abandonment wound in childhood installed the fear of loneliness program. The experience of scarcity installed the anxiety about the future program. And although today your conscious mind, the one listening to this, wants to install the new program of abundance or complete trust, the old software keeps running in the background, executing the old directives by default, because for your nervous system, the familiar is synonymous with safe. Your body doesn't know if the danger it feels is real or a memory. It only knows how to execute the program it knows best, the one that has allowed it to survive until this day. That's why the true quantum leap isn't a mental hack. It's a deep bodily reprogramming. The law of magnetic resonance. This leads us directly to one of the most powerful metaphors on this path, that of the magnet. We've been told we attract what we want, but it's a half-truth. You don't attract what your mind desires, you attract what your being vibrates. You're a living magnet, and your magnetic field, your vibrational identity, is determined by the programs running in your body every second. If your body is emitting the frequency of fear, no matter how much you think about confidence, you'll attract situations that validate and resonate with that fear. The quantum field doesn't respond to your isolated thoughts. It responds to the total coherence of your signal. It responds to what you are in your totality. Neuroscientist and researcher Dr. Joe Dispenza explains this brilliantly. He teaches that through repetition, the body literally becomes the unconscious mind. Emotions from the past, like guilt, shame, or anxiety, become memorized and stored at the cellular level to the point where the body knows that chemical state better than the conscious mind. Your body becomes addicted to those familiar chemicals. That's why when you try to truly change, when you try to genuinely feel gratitude or abundance, the body enters a kind of withdrawal syndrome and sends panic signals to your brain to make you think and feel as always, to give it its known chemical dose. The observer effect. Here's where quantum physics gives us the final piece of the puzzle. The famous observer principle tells us that our attention and energy collapse waves of infinite possibilities into particles of real experience. Applied to our lives, this means that as long as you continue observing your reality with the energy of your old self, feeling the same anxiety in your chest, reacting with the same anger, expecting the same disappointment, you're forcing the quantum field to collapse the same old frequency again and again. The quantum leap occurs the instant you withdraw your observer energy from that old reality and stop feeding it with your being. It's a deliberate collapse of the frequency that no longer belongs to you. That's why, and this is something those of us on this awakening path know well, true change often feels like a loss before it feels like a conquest. It feels like emptiness because you're letting an identity die that, although painful, was all you knew until now. The subtle traps. It's precisely in that attempt to release the old identity where we fall into the most subtle traps, those that seem correct but actually reinforce the same problem we want to solve. Many of us, with the best intentions, have done this. Think about it for a moment. How many times have you repeated positive affirmations in front of the mirror like, "I am abundant" or "I am worthy of love," but feeling deep in your stomach the tight knot of lack or loneliness? What happens in that instant is that you're creating profound energetic incoherence. Your voice says one thing, but your body, your true vibrational identity, screams the opposite. And the quantum field, which doesn't understand human languages, but the frequency of being, receives the scream, not the whisper. You're unwittingly amplifying the signal of what you lack, not what you desire. Another common trap we fall into through the wound of impatience is the search for quick results. That need to see material proof now is an ego trap that refuses to release control. It comes from the same vibration of distrust. It's like telling the universe, "I don't believe this really works, so prove it to me right now, or I quit." This rush sabotages the energetic gestation process that all deep change requires. The same happens with visualization. You can spend an hour imagining the life of your dreams in exquisite detail, But if during the other 23 hours of the day, your body is in a state of silent alert, with tense shoulders and short breath from anxiety, which signal do you think is more powerful and constant? The uncomfortable truth. Those of us who have been through this know it well. Many of us have used spiritual techniques as anesthesia to not feel the pain or emptiness, not as true activators of transformation. And the truth, one that hurts but liberates, is that the quantum field doesn't respond to what you think in your moments of sacred practice, but to what you are, what you feel, and what you vibrate when no one is watching you, when you're alone with yourself in the middle of the night. Hearing all this, it's very possible you feel a pang of frustration that you think, so even my attempts to improve are wrong? I want you to take a deep breath right now and listen to me with your heart. It's not your fault. It isn't. You've been operating with the tools you were given, fighting an incredibly difficult and lonely battle against your own programming. Your nervous system, in its infinite biological wisdom, hasn't been trying to sabotage you. It's been trying to keep you safe. And for it, safe is familiar, even if familiar is painful. The path of coherence. Repeating the frequency of the past of lack, anxiety, or fear of not being enough was its way of protecting you from an unknown and potentially greater pain. All that frustration you feel, that sensation of running on a spiritual hamster wheel, doesn't come from your lack of effort or desire. It's born from a fundamentally misaligned approach. You've been trying to win a war against yourself, attempting to subdue your body with the power of your mind, when the true path isn't one of conquest, but of deep reconciliation. True change, the kind that feels like coming home, begins the instant you stop blaming yourself for not achieving it, by thinking positively and understand that you are a complete system, an energetic ecosystem that yearns for harmony. What you need isn't more willpower to repress what you feel. What your soul yearns for is more coherence. Coherence between your mind, your body, and your new vibrational identity. The path isn't upward struggling, but inward aligning. Questions for deep reflection. In this space of calm and permission we've created, I invite you to a small pause, to honest and judgment-free self-reflection. You don't have to answer me or even yourself immediately. Just allow these questions to float within you and observe what moves. First, what version of you do you continue embodying each day through silent loyalty to an identity that has already expired? To whom do you remain loyal with your energy? To that wounded child who learned they weren't enough? To the rejected teenager who decided never to be vulnerable again? To the adult who failed once and swore never to risk again? What ancient story do you keep alive with today's vibration? Second, perhaps even more intimate, what real frequency does your body hold when no one is watching you? When the lights go out and you're alone with your sensations, is it the frequency of peace and trust? Or is it the subtle vibration of alertness, of waiting, of chronic dissatisfaction? That's your true energetic signature, your starting point. Those who have awakened to this, people like us who walk this path, know that discomfort is sometimes the portal. What if the pain you feel today is precisely the old energy your soul is ready to release and leave behind? Daily practices for transformation. So how do we begin releasing that old energy and embodying the new in the fabric of everyday life? Forget heroic acts and unreachable goals. The true quantum leap is woven with golden threads in the simplest moments. Deliberate presence. The first fundamental practice is deliberate presence. I propose something 3 times a day. No matter where you are, take a 30-second pause. Close your eyes if you can. Place a hand over your heart to feel your own life and take 3 deep, conscious breaths. With the first, Inhale the energy of the future you desire. With the second, exhale with intention the energy of the past that no longer serves you. With the third, anchor your being in the absolute power of the present. This simple act is a micro-revolution. It interrupts the trance of anxiety's autopilot and sends your body a powerful signal of safety. You're telling it, we are safe. We're no longer in that old battlefield. Micro-decisions. Another tool is conscious micro-decisions that act as daily votes for your new self. Always take the same route to work? One day, choose another with the intention of opening yourself to new paths. Each decision, however small, that breaks a pattern weakens the old identity. Symbolic commitments. Then there are many vibrational commitments, symbolic acts that speak directly to the language of your soul and subconscious. For example, write on paper the belief or emotion you're ready to release. Fear of scarcity, the abandonment wound. And then with respect and gratitude for what it taught you, burn it, visualizing how that dense energy transmutes into light. Or choose an object, a small stone, a ring, and consecrate it as the physical anchor of your new vibrational identity. Each time you touch it throughout the day, it will be a silent reminder of who you're choosing to be now. The reality of the journey. I know, because I've been there too, that the biggest challenge is consistency. The old software is persistent, and life pushes us into automatic mode. But I must speak to you with total honesty about something. You're going to fall. There will be days when you wake up and, without quite knowing how, you find yourself inhabiting the old frequency again, reacting with the same old anger, feeling the same familiar anxiety in your chest. And in that moment, your mind, the guardian of the old identity, will try to tell you, see, it didn't work. You haven't changed anything. This is what you really are. Listen to me carefully. That's the biggest lie your old self will tell you to survive. Old frequencies, those neural highways you've traveled for decades, don't disappear overnight. They dissolve slowly, fade while you insist with love and patience on not returning to them. Falling doesn't mean you haven't changed. It means your body is still relearning, that cellular memory still has echoes of the past. True progress, and this is something those of us on this path learn to value above all, isn't in perfection but in resilience. It's not measured by not falling, but by how quickly you rise and return to your center. The mundane sacred. The quantum leap is also built on days when you feel nothing extraordinary, in mundane moments when you simply choose peace over drama, trust over fear, again and again without fireworks. Those are the days that build the most solid foundations for your new reality. To anchor this decision here and now, I propose one final symbolic gesture, an act to seal your intention in this precise moment. I want you to choose a single word, a word that represents the new frequency, the new vibrational identity you consciously choose to embody from today forward. Perhaps it's peace, trust, fullness, freedom, or worthiness. Don't think it, feel it. What is it? The final revelation. Remember, at the beginning I spoke of an exact moment where your field changes, and most people sabotage it without knowing. Here's the final revelation. That moment isn't a burst of magical light. It's that instant of profound discomfort, that breaking point where you felt everything was crumbling, that you couldn't continue with the old story. That, and no other, was the sacred moment. It was your old self, your old identity, finally releasing control, surrendering to the force of your soul, demanding passage. It wasn't sabotage, it was birth. Now take that word you chose and write it in the comments. Doing so is much more than leaving text. It's declaring to the quantum field and to yourself who you're choosing to be. We are a vibrational community. Each word creates a network of energetic support. That word you chose is your new compass, because your new vibrational identity isn't thought, isn't negotiated, isn't intellectualized. It's embodied. It's lived in each conscious breath, in each choice that honors your energy, and above all, in the compassionate way you rise after falling. Have you understood the deepest secret we've shared today? The quantum leap isn't an extraordinary event that happens to you one lucky day. It's a silent but unshakable decision you make each morning when you open your eyes. It's the decision to stop emitting the frequency of who you no longer are, to finally give space to who you've truly come to be. What has begun in you today is only the first step. Thank you for your courage to look within.